we'll be looking at computer memory. For the purpose of this course, there are two kinds of memory which are important. One is called random access memory, or RAM, and your hard disk, HDD. These are the two kinds of memory system which we'll be interested in this course. There are other kinds of memory like cache, BIOS, etc., which we are not interested in. You can learn about those in computer architecture course, for example, a computer organization course. So we are going to look at three main differences. One, RAM is fast. This is fast. Hard disk is slow. Okay. Next, see, if you store something in the hard disk, it will be stored there even if there is no power source. So data is stored without power in a hard disk. That's not true in RAM. Data is lost without power in a RAM. Okay. So if you want to store something which you are running your program and you want to store something which has to be retrieved later, for example, you need to store it in the hard disk. On the other hand, while you are running, you want to store some, for example, some variable information, etc. And you're manipulating some variable, you're declaring a variable int x, and you're storing some values there in that variable and then changing it, etc. Those have to be allocated in the random access memory. Okay, because first of all, it's fast, right? But the main problem is that let's say your computer shuts down while your program is running, everything is lost when you come back. Okay, the computer won't start from where you have. The computer won't restart from that location where you are running. It will all be lost. That's because data is lost in RAM. When the power goes off, that data is lost. Okay, so that's RAM and hard disk. But the third most important thing is the following fact. Okay, first let's see how is this organized? This RAM is organized. Right? So just like you all have your home address, if I want to send a letter to you, I will write to your home address. Right? Or if it's through email, if there's an email address for you. Just like that, every memory location, every byte in the RAM also has a memory address. Okay? So this is a pictorial representation of a RAM, and let's say it starts from the address 1 and it goes to, let's say, 1000. So these are the memory addresses of this RAM. It goes from 1 to 1000. So every memory location in RAM has this memory address. Okay. Now, so locations in hard disk also has an address. Okay. But we are right now concerned about RAM. Now, okay. So the RAM has every location has this address, and the important thing about RAM is the following: that no matter which address you are going to access, it's going to retrieve it fast. and there's no difference in time in where you access. Even if I ask you, okay, so I ask the computer what is what are the two kinds of things you can do in RAM? You in the memory, you can read from a memory location, you can write into the memory location, right? That's the two operations possible. Read, write. Two operations possible. Read from the memory, write into the memory. Okay. So write is I wrote 55 into that memory. Read is I read from that memory 55. Right. Okay. Now, so okay, coming back. What is important about RAM? So what is the third property about RAM is the following fact that no matter which memory you are going to access, for either read or write, it's going to take the same time. So it does not matter which address you are going to access. Whether it's address 1 or 1000 or 79 or anything, the time required to read or write is going to be the same. That's one crucial factor for RAM. This is not true for hard disk. So time to read or write is the same irrespective of the address in a RAM. This is not true here. Not true for hard disk. That's because hard disk has some physical components. Because of that reason, the drums have to rotate, for example, and then because of those reasons, it depends on which location of the hard disk you are going to access. The time will differ. Sometimes your hard disk takes more time to retrieve some file from your hard disk. Sometimes it might be faster. It all depends on which part of your hard disk is accessed at a particular point. Thank you.